Happy Friday and welcome to another episode of Hot Mamas Living Better at Any Age. I'm your host, Dawneen, and I am just thrilled that you're taking the time to join me today for another great and informative topic that I hope will motivate and inspire you. I have a terrific guest today. You're just not even going to believe it. She is going to just knock your socks off, so get ready. I am so excited that you've joined me for another fun Friday. So let's end the week with a bang. I hope that you've already grabbed your favorite adult beverage, because where I am broadcasting from, it is noon. So I have a nice cold glass of homemade sangria that is just dying for me to take a sip of it. And we're getting ready for some fun. I want to hear from you, so be sure that you send me an email at onenutritionexpert@gmail.com. Let me answer your questions live on the air, or if you happen to be listening to this on a replay, you can still send me an email if you have any questions about today's topic or any other topic that you would like for us to talk about, or maybe a past episode that you have a question about. Feel free to send me an email and I will personally answer your email. I do not have a virtual assistant that answers my emails. I do them personally. So reach out to me, give me your questions and your ideas for show topics or guests. And remember, you can catch all of our Bold radio station replays on iHeartRadio. So be sure you download the app on your smartphone. We have listeners all over the world who listen to our replays while they're working out at the gym, grocery shopping, going to and from work. So be sure and let me know where you're listening from and what you are doing. I'm kind of keeping a list of where people are, what they're doing as they're listening to the replay, because we know that a lot of you are just super, super busy and it's hard to stop what you're doing and listen to our live broadcast. So we appreciate all of our listeners that are listening to a replay from wherever you are. Well, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on. I tell you what, this week has been absolutely insane. I mean, I just said I felt like I'd been running around like a whirling dervish with its hair on fire. So if you can imagine that has been my week. And it's because if you've been following me on social media, you know that the new book, the collaboration that I have with my publisher, Jody Harris, and with two other best-selling authors, Kelly Cox and Judith Inglesby, our book, The Journey to Never Giving Up, is actually available right now for pre-sale on Amazon. Now, you can either go to Amazon.com and you can look up the title, The Journey to Never Giving Up, or you can go to our website, which I encourage you to do because you can learn all about this amazing book. It is a combination of my book, Eat, Drink, and Be Merry Through Menopause, Kelly Cox's book, 365 Affirmations to Smile, and Judith Inglesby's book, Stone Benches, which is about her journey with her mother through Alzheimer's disease. But within the book are riddles. Now, I've never heard of anything like this before, so this is just really cool and amazing what we're doing with this book. Inside the text of the book, and you really have to look for it. They don't just jump out at you. You have to read the book. There are riddles that if you're able to solve them, you could win one of 40 prizes that total $20,000. So in order to see what those prizes are, you need to go to our website. It is www.thejourneytonevergivingup.com, thejourneytonevergivingup.com. And you can click on the drop-down menu for the prizes, and you can see what they all are. They're absolutely amazing. You're going to absolutely love it. You are going to want to pre-order your book today. It does launch on May the 2nd, so if you order your book today or anytime before May the 2nd, it will actually ship on May the 2nd. So you will be one of the very first ones to get your copy of The Journey to Never Giving Up. If you are on Facebook, we also have a Facebook page that links over to our website. So just search in your search bar for The Journey to Never Giving Up, and our Facebook page will pop up for you as well. It is an amazing story of how each of us have been through our own separate journeys and how we never gave up and got to the places that we are in our lives now. So we all are just hoping and praying that it will motivate and inspire you to also never give up no matter what it is that life throws your way. Also, the Missing Piece magazine, our April edition, is available online now. So go to themissingpiecemagazine.com and be sure and get your April copy. It is amazing as always. And our May edition will be coming out in a couple of weeks, and I'll be sure and let you know when it launches. Now, my summer yoga schedule is pretty much full. I may add a couple of more classes, but for right now, I want to let my local peeps know where I will be teaching. Starting next week on Wednesday, May the 3rd, I will be at Powerhouse Gym in Port Neches at 6:30 every Wednesday. We will be doing Hatha yoga. We will have an emphasis on menopause symptoms. So ladies, if you're having hot flashes, night sweats, pain, cramping, bloating, come and see me, and I guarantee you, you will feel better. There are some yoga poses that actually do help to fight those menopause symptoms. So come and see me at Powerhouse on Wednesdays at 6:30 starting next week. And beginning at the end of June, look for me at Exogen in Mid-County. I will be subbing the entire summer for Melody. So if you've been doing Melody's classes on Wednesdays at lunchtime from 12:15 to 12:45, or on Thursdays at 7 p.m., I will be handling all of her classes starting at the end of June all the way through August. So come and see me at Powerhouse or Exogen. Also, the Christus Live Well Women's Conference. I've been talking about this for, probably a month or more now, but we are getting close. It is May the 11th. It's 2 weeks away. It is our 10th anniversary, and the deadline to get your tickets online is this coming Monday, May the 1st. Now, when you register online, you also select the breakout sessions that you want to go to, and our sessions are filling up very quickly. So be sure that you go online to ChristusLiveWell.org, and that's CHRISTUS, ChristusLiveWell.org. Register and purchase your tickets online. Now, you can get tickets at the door, but there is no guarantee that you will get to go to any of the breakout sessions. And there are 24 speakers, including myself, and you will not want to miss these sessions. You have to pick the ones that you want. There's about 4 sessions going on, or 4 speaking events going on at each session. So you have to pick out which one you want to go to and reserve your spot. So, and also our keynote speaker this year is award-winning actress Geena Davis. So you will not want to miss her keynote speech at lunch. And I am just so honored to have been asked to be a speaker on the very same stage that she will be gracing. And this event is always very well attended. It's going to be great for our 10th anniversary. So get your tickets at ChristusLiveWell.org. I want to remind you how to find us on Bold Radio and how to find me on social media. Of course, Bold Radio Station, boldradiostation.com, as well as our Facebook page, Bold Radio Station. Make sure that you go and look at all the other great shows that we have on our website. If you click on Meet the Hosts and you click on any of our wonderful hosts, you can listen to all of their archive shows on their page. So be sure that you check out all of the great programming that we have. You can find me on Facebook. If you just type in Fitness Nutrition Consulting, boom, my page will pop up. I also have a private group that I would ask you to join. It is Fit and Healthy with Dawnine. Come on over, take a look, invite your friends to join. That's where you really get the heart of all the stuff that I post, because you know how Facebook is. They don't let you see everything from every business and every person that you follow. So if you get involved in a group, that's a better way to be able to kind of plug in and engage and get better and more information. So I want to go ahead and move into our topic for today. I'm calling it transformation, and you'll find out why, because my guest today has spent the last several months transforming and moving from one chapter of her life to another. And how the tables have turned. My guest today is the one and only Kim Boudreaux Smith. She is bold and direct, mixed with plenty of passion and fun. Kim shows up strong in life no matter what is happening and how she feels. She loves attracting like-minded people who work hard, achieve dreams, and enjoy life too. To accomplish this, Kim aligns her body, mind, and spirit working hard to maintain balance and wellness. Helping those she works with achieve the same level of wholeness so they too can achieve their dreams is a priority for her. Kim had a very successful corporate career, but something was missing, so she launched a fitness business with sought-after classes, private clients, and exercise videos. She not only runs that fitness business, she is also the CEO of Kim B. Smith, Inc. Kim is known for being a 7-time international best-selling author and compiler, as well as the founder and former CEO of our very own Bold radio station, an internet radio station that offers VIP service for business owners to market their voice as the experts that they are. And she was so gracious to hand the reins of Bold radio station over to me at the end of last year. She is a native of Royal Oak, Michigan. Kim currently resides in Birmingham, Michigan. She is certified in coaching through the International Coaching Academy. She continues her personal and spiritual development through the practices of yoga, meditation, and in the past, changing woman. Kim's happiest joy is being a mom to her black labs, Grace, the therapy dog, and Luna Tuna, the puppy. So join me in welcoming the one and the only Kim Boudreaux Smith. Welcome, Kim.
Okay, I need a nap after listening to you. I seriously, everything you are doing. And then I'm going to say this. You're sipping on sangria. I am so upset you didn't send me any.
Oh, I'm sorry. We ran out. As soon as I poured my glass, I would have brought you some to the green room.
Yeah, thank you. I've got my water. How boring I am on a Friday afternoon.
Oh, my gosh. You got to get with the program.
I know. I'm going to later on this afternoon, going to get with the program. I'm a couple hours behind. But yeah, you know something, this is going to be fun because, you know, you and I are both radio show hosts and, you know, very confident, strong women. And I was talking this morning about you and the show I'm going to be on. And I was going to throw a curveball when I came out after you introduced me. So I'm throwing a curveball. I'm going to really praise and shout you on up. And I want everybody to know that's listening. I am no longer the CEO of Bold Radio that Janine Backham is. And I couldn't have passed the baton, so to speak, on to anybody else. And I had a few other offers in the making, and I was getting stomach aches. And, you know, that's when I approached you, you know, so
yeah,
there's no one else better in the whole wide world that I could have done that because you allowed the team to stay intact, you know, because I love Bold Radio's team. I'm madly in love with those guys. And you keep me involved. You know, it wasn't like, okay, Kim, thanks very much. Whoop, goodbye. You keep me involved.
Bye-bye.
So, so it has been, it's this whole transition has been absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, I couldn't have asked for it to go any smoother. And I mean, it was just, you know, of course, at first I was like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? And oh, I don't know what I'm doing. But you know, the way that you and I meshed together and the fact that we had so much in common and we're just so like-minded, that just made it was like a no-brainer. It just made it really easy and smooth and everything is going well. Thank you so much.
Yeah. You're welcome. Thank you for, I'm honored you took me up on that offer. I mean, it's like one of the biggest honors someone could do, you know, because it's my baby. I mean, it's no longer my baby, you know, but it's like, you know, taking one of our dogs, you know, it's like Luna Tuna, who's 9 months old, and giving them over to someone for like 2 months for like a boot camp training. It's like, oh my God, you know, that's my baby, but it's like, wow, what an amazing person to pass the baby on to. And the baby needs new life and eyes and blood and all that. And there's going to be plenty coming up.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We've got lots of potential hosts that I've been talking to, just some great women and men that have been referred to me from different connections. And, yeah, we're going to have some amazing new programs coming on real soon. So everybody stay tuned. Stay tuned to Bold.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I need to sing your praises because you've really done some amazing things since you stepped away from Bold and turned the reins over to me. You've been doing some really neat stuff that people need to know about. And the first thing is your blog. Your blog is amazing. Everyone that I've read, I've been like, oh my gosh, I needed to hear this today. This is, yep, this is what I needed to hear. Thank you very much. Let me go and cry now.
Okay, well, they're not meant to make you cry, but yeah, I mean, if it does move you like that, that's great. And that's another big compliment, Deneen, you could give me today. You just made my whole day. Okay, show's over. You just made my whole day. Now we can go drink. Show's
Okay,
over.
bye.
Thank you. No, yeah, thanks so much. This transition and this transformation, I think I approached you, back in October, end of October.
Yeah.
We were behind the scenes making this transition, and it was November. You were like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? I was like, oh my God, this is my identity for the last 5 years. Now what the hell? What in the hell am I going to be when I grow up? And
Yeah.
I had two people breathing down my neck, saying, for the first time in your life, Kim, you do not need to do that, because I've always done that. What's next? What's next? What's next? Those women in the Cinderella village, cram that foot in that glass slipper, let's next, So that was a really tough thing for me. And January hit, and I'm not big into New Year's resolutions. Quite frankly, I really even don't believe New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, me neither.
They're just a quick fix, and I don't. It's like diets; they're just quick fixes. I don't believe in them. And January came, and I saw everybody coming back from the holidays, and my husband leaves to go to work, and here I've got this new baby puppy going. What in the hell did I do? And all this stuff, and I'm like. I literally hit a really dark spot, which was one of my blogs, which was my second blog that I put out there. I put out a welcome blog was the second. I really hit a dark spot, and in that dark spot, that dark space, it was like, and I'm going to use the word God, and I just want to clarify it. This is not a religious show. I'm not a religious person. I'm very spiritual, and I believe in God. So I just want to clear that air. But it was like God put a knife in my gut and was pulling this out. And I'm like, what are you trying to tell me? What's going on? And it was like, to blog. So I just started blogging and launched the business, April 1st.
Wow.
So the business. Yeah. Yep.
Well, all of the blogs that you have done so far they've been awesome. And what I really appreciate about it is that you're so honest and transparent and vulnerable and, just really laying it out there, whatever the subject is, whether it's, that dark place that you were in, or the one that you just posted today about the detox bath, which I absolutely love, because I had a wonderful one last night. And it's just you're being honest and writing from your heart. And I think those are the kind of blogs that I'm attracted to. The ones that are just informative and flowery, and I'm going to talk about this topic and give you I'm going to give you some links to go to, and here's the research I did. No, I some people like those. That's fine, but I don't. Yes. I like the ones like what you are doing, where it is from your gut and from your heart, and you're really opening yourself up and telling people, this is how it is. This is how it is in Kim's world. For whatever it's worth, this is what it is. This is how it is. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks so much for saying that. I really appreciate that. My big thing is, Deneen, I think you and I have had these conversations is, it really breaks my heart when, and I'm going to pick on our gender today because you and I are both women. And of course we have the amazing producer, Nesha, who is not a woman, but he's a man, and he just supports us and goes along for the ride. But he knows he's a good man. He's been trained very well. First of all, it breaks my heart to see women launching businesses and then, 3 months later or a year later, they're quitting. So for me, they're coming out of the gate for all the frickin' wrong reasons. Number one. Number two, the other thing is how women are showing up in business. They're not. I mean,
I know.
that's my big thing is, people talk about branding and they want to hire me to help them brand. And I just, behind the scenes go, ha, 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 okay, fine, let's have the conversation. But the brand I'm talking about is far deeper than the brand of the logo of our business or the brand of the tagline or the brand of the name and how it makes everyone look and feel and fuzzy or whatever. The brand is, it's even more than just the reputation. It's the brand of how you show up. And that's the other thing with women, is knock it off. I mean, knock it off. Look, I've had to show up like on that deep, dark day. I took a choice not to answer the call, but I did make a couple phone calls that day, as in a space that I was in. There were days where I remember it'll be 2 years this March, where we had a team meeting at Bold. I showed up and I knew at 7 o'clock that night, my vet was coming to the house to unfortunately put my other dog, Coda, down. I still had to show up. I could have canceled that meeting, but no, I still went in. I wasn't at my best. I didn't need to be at my best. I still went in there. And that's what I want to get across, with any form of transformation. I'm 57. I hear women say, oh, I'm 62, it's too late. I'm like, why? Are you dying?
No.
It's like, it's never too late. It's never too late.
Well, and that's one of my pet peeves, and I use you as a sounding board all the time when this stuff happens, and one of them happened yesterday, and it's like, come on, people. My time is so precious and so valuable because I do so many different things in a given day's time with all the different businesses and things that I do, that when I set aside 30 minutes to have a phone call with somebody, that time is golden. I'm showing up, I'm on time, I'm ready, I'm setting aside this time for you. And right then it's all about you. It's golden time for me. And when people don't show up, or they show up and they're not all there and ready, and it's like, oh my gosh. And this happens all the time. It happens all the time. Not just with things that I'm doing for Bold Radio, but, in my law practice, in my coaching business, there's so many different things that I do. And when people don't show up like you and I show up, it is just maddening. And I think, you are hurting yourself and hurting your brand by just not showing up.
A really good way to, and I've done this. I don't like a lot of clutter around me because I have anxiety that I do not manage my anxiety on medication. I manage it naturally. Look if people are so busy tail spinning like this, go get a trash can, open up all your cupboards and just start throwing shit out. Just clear it all out. Let me tell you, you'll stop spinning after that one. Number one, now with Google, for God's sakes, we don't need to keep a bunch of stuff. And I just think women, because we have estrogen going through our bodies, we get estrogen guilt, and we are so wrapped up in the white picket fence syndrome, what our partners or our girlfriends are thinking and saying about us. And, we've got the kids, and we still, in this day and age, two things. Self-care, which is, are you kidding me? We're still talking about self-care, and we don't know how to say no. We get guilty for saying no. It's like we're going to miss out if we say no. And it's so crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, you and Kate were talking about the whole self-care thing on a recent episode of your show. And I really wanted to let everybody that's listening today or on the replay know about the show that you two are doing, because it is amazing. I mean, just like your blog, the show is amazing because the two of you, the way that y'all bounce off of each other and feed off of each other, and the energy and the topics that you're talking about. And again, being transparent, being vulnerable, really speaking from your heart and your gut. I love it. So tell us a little bit about the quote TV show unquote thing that you and Kate are doing.
Well, Kate Gardner and I, we record every Thursday morning, and then as soon as we're done, she has an intro to the show, and then we throw it out there on social media, and it's called Spiritual Success. And it's all about, living faithfully and spiritually in the marketplace, how to implement that into the marketplace, how to implement that in your lives. And I've known Kate, oh my gosh, I met Kate in my second anthology that I was participating in. And her and I just clicked and we hit it off and we've been friends. I think it's been 6 years now, ever since. There was a gap in our friendship. And I vouch I will never let that happen. And thank goodness we could pick up where we left off. But Kate had an amazing year, and then it all crashed a couple of years ago. And so she took a lot of last year off. I think she took like about 9 months off and stumbled upon Danny Johnson, which you've read Danny's book and CDs. I've got to pick the CDs love her. Back up. Yeah. She's amazing. And it was a turning point for Kate. Well, Kate, still kept in contact with me, even though she took some time off last year. And she would every so often, hey, look at this program. Here, look at what I purchased. And she'd send me the picture, and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, another program. Then she did it again, and I'm like, oh, yeah, another program. Then she gave me a YouTube video, and I'm like, all right, I'll play it. And all of a sudden, something snapped in me. Something just snapped and just had a complete turnaround for me. And it's like, Kim, why are you fighting spirituality? What is going on with this? There's absolutely nothing wrong with bringing faith and spirituality out there into the marketplace, out there into our lives. And so Kate and I just clicked. And listen, I'm going to be even more transparent. Yesterday, I was pushing the minutes to get to our link for the recording. She was waiting for me. I was pushing the minutes. And before we went live, I said, I've got a nasty headache. And I had a nasty headache yesterday morning. I even said something on our video.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and it was making me a little, a little bit edgy. But that is just all that had to take place. I mean, that's just what was happening in that moment. But Kate and I, before we went live, we decided what that topic was. We are in the midst in the moment, and something irked her on LinkedIn that morning, and she goes, look at this. So we were talking about it, and I'm like, you know what? That is the topic for our show for today. So we take in that moment or something that happened that week, and that we bring it to the show.
Yeah. I love that because it's relevant. It's something that is an immediate thing that's happened. It's fresh in your mind and on your heart and in your gut, and it's relevant. And when y'all started talking about it, I was like, oh my gosh, this same kind of stuff has happened to me.
Yeah.
And it was very relevant. Just very relevant.
I was really upset. I was really sickened by this LinkedIn post that Kate sent to me. And, and that's what we were talking about. Just because we're experts, does that mean we down other people for somebody, making a mistake? When that's a huge opportunity that's being presented to that quote unquote, and I don't particularly care for that word expert, but to that expert, to really scoop it's like a bird with a broken wing, scoop that baby on up and help repair that wing. But instead, she just went on to break the other wing and kick the bird in the face. And then a bunch of people chimed in, and I'm like, okay, enough, people. Oh my God, aren't we over this stuff yet? It's like, it's crazy. So that really irked Kate. So we brought that to the show yesterday. But that's what we're doing, and that's a lot of the basis of my blogs. In fact, I've got I don't know when this will come out because I stockpiled blogs. When I started writing back in January, I stockpiled, and I knew I wasn't launching, until, I wanted to launch in March, but I was dealing with my mom's heart surgery. So I put it off until April. But I'm going to be writing about self-care, and it's got to go much deeper than self-care because that's all I see on Facebook. Oh, take my 6-week course on self-care and self-care this. And granted, I did blog a little bit about that self-care today because I'm leading into this self-care, and I'm going to really turn it upside down, this self-care, and hopefully people look at it differently. So it's not scheduling, and don't get me wrong, I like to schedule my manicures and pedicures, but it's not waiting until Saturday to schedule for that manicure pedicure. It's self-care has got to be self-preserved every day.
Yes. Yeah. I think too many people, when they hear that term self-care, they're thinking surface things.
Yes.
How are we appearing to people on the surface? That's self-care. No, it's not. And I know where you're going with this. It's a much deeper, it's a
Yes.
much more spiritual, it's much more primal than what most people think of when they think of self-care.
Yes. Yeah. And that can be applied, quite frankly, to this transformation that I've been in the midst of. And I know, you see this theme a little bit in a few of the blogs. I do mention, because when I was writing those blogs back in January and February, I talk a lot about, I've sold Bold Radio Station, and I was at choice for doing that. I wanted to pass that on to where it was on a high, not in a low. I wanted it on a high. I was ready to pass it, and it was on a high, and I didn't want to pass it on with everything that I had been through, the first, 3 to 4 years. But, this transformation, with everybody listening, it's, find your spirituality. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you go out and walk in the woods every morning. To me, that's a form of spirituality. Or if you're sitting like I do after I feed the dogs with my cup of coffee and my protein bar, and I read a really quick quote or a prayer in a book.
Yeah.
Find your thing, and, and do it. But I like to do it, and I like to recommend people do it first thing in the morning. Start the day off on that note.
Yeah, because it kind of centers you and gets you focused on, what's coming for the day. And yeah, I do that too. Now I do something in the evening also, kind of on the opposite side of things to kind of wind down and rebalance, because like I said, I'm running around with my hair on fire half the time during the day. And at the end of the day, I'm physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausted, but my brain doesn't want to turn off for me to really relax and get into a deep sleep. So I have to do something on the back end of the day, like I do on the front end, to balance things for the day, to rebalance things at the end of the day, to be able to get good rest. And I know you tease me and you say, you don't ever sleep. When do you sleep? I do. I sleep very well, and people don't believe this. I usually get 8 to 9 hours of sleep per night, but I go to bed really early because I get up really early. You know?
I do too. Yep. I want to shout you out yet again, Deneen. This is good. You are a former teacher, and you still teach. So,
yes.
In fact, I think I was talking about you this morning too. You are a former full-time teacher, but you still teach, and there's something about teachers that organization runs through their veins. And, so anyone listening, yes, Deneen runs around with her hair on fire. She really does. I know that. And it's not just because she lives down south in Texas with that southern beautiful draw.
Freaking hot.
And don't say that. It got really cold here. But anyways, it's you, and you're managing between you and your husband. You guys managed 3 properties because, his career is, 2 hours away. I mean, you guys, and you knew that. Both of you knew that going into the marriage. There's all this going on with your law practice, now Bold Radio. You have a coaching practice, and plus you're a published author and projects. Listen, everybody, reach out to Deneen just to learn how to stay organized. I was at this thing Thursday night, and it was a market research for my bank. And I walked into this room. I sat down, and everybody's waiting, for the instructions and stuff. And there's this girl sitting next to me, this young girl sitting next to me. She's got her phone. Then she pulled out a book, and I'm like, and I just smiled, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this woman is so darn organized, Well, when we get into the room, we have to introduce ourselves and give our profession. She's a school teacher. And I'm like, of course, no wonder she's organized. There's something about the school teachers. I was thinking of you, so
that's funny.
Yeah. So we can have a lot on our plate, but you have to be clear what that plate is all about, number one. And number two, you've got to have some strong organization skills, and you've got to have some self-care, some self-preserving things that you do for yourself so that you can run around all day long with your hair on fire, but not showing up late for this and skipping this appointment and leaving people. It's like, no.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, like today, when we get finished with the radio show, I've got to hit the road and go visit with a client that lives about 30 minutes away. And I mean, I purposely schedule things close together so that I don't have a lot of dead time during the day. You know, I move from one event to the next or one appointment to the next and, get everything done. And I mean, it's a challenge, but it can be done. And that's what learning how to say no is so important, because this is something else that I'm seeing in a lot of women entrepreneurs and business owners that I've been dealing with, is that they reach for every shiny object that's out there. Oh, I need this and I need that, and this is going to help my business, and this project is going to give me exposure. And you know what? You have to say no. Yes. You have to. You cannot be distracted by every shiny object out there, because not everything is a good fit. Not everything is good for your brand. Not everything is going to help you get further in whatever your business pursuits are. You have to have the balls to say no.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's hard. I mean, I used to be really bad about that, but you just, the more you get into your business and the busier your business becomes, the more important it is to learn how to be discerning and say no.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I said no to something recently, that anthology project that I reached out to you about, and I was like, should I do this? And no, I don't know. And it really was something that I wanted to do, but it just wasn't the right time, and I had to say no. But then another project came along that was the right thing in the right time, and I was able to say yes because I had said no to this other thing. So you have to discern.
That's that is how it all works. That's how all the universal energies work. We say no to one thing, and that just opens up the door to something that is supposed to fit. It's like that. It's like, let's go shoe shopping, which I will be doing that later on this afternoon. It's like you try on one pair of shoes. It's like, they're okay. They're not great. And then you try on something else, and it's like, that's getting better. Then maybe you try on another pair and go, there you go. Bingo. Yep. But if you settled for that first pair that was just felt okay, you're never going to get to the pair where they were just, loving and on your foot, that shoe. And that's my shoe analogy of the day.
That's perfect.
Yeah, but that's just, we have, when we're so crystal clear on our big fat why of not just our lives, but our business. And by the way, lives and business aren't separate, but we'll talk that way. When you're so focused and your big fat why and your vision and your mission, then you'll know when to say no. And, that is my big thing. That was one of my commitments this year, was to take on nothing huge this year. And I slipped in January and said yes to something. And I'll tell you what, a couple of weeks ago, I had to back out because it was just not working out.
Yeah.
So it's being really aware and knowing when we are so inundated with constantly saying yes to everything, chasing our tail, running after this, overwhelmed with this, and oh my God, I'm dropping this ball and this and that and blah, 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 blah. And that, which was one of my blogs a few days, I think it was this week, was, work-life balance. It's a big fat myth.
Yes.
It's BS.
It's
work-life
BS.
Balance.
Yep.
It's BS. We never reach that balance, but there's compromisations, there's negotiations, there's knowing when to say no and knowing when to say yes. But so many people out there, they love that, they just keep that shiny, flashy object. And it's like, whoa, because, I wanted to start a second blog. Well, I was, are you kidding me? Okay, not today, not Monday. Well, okay, go do an Instagram and just put posts out there for now. That is manageable. And they're right. And I seriously didn't want to do it today or Monday, but we have to know the focus. And I just don't understand why we have to live so jammed packed. And I mean, so jam-packed that, like, for an example, I'll use you for an example is, you're jam-packed throughout the day, but you have that time in the morning and you have that time at the end of the day. Do you know there's so many people that don't even have that time because they're so jam-packed?
Yeah, and that is my golden time. That's the time where there's no phone, there's no interruption. This is my time just for me and the universe and God and my dogs and nature and that's it, and you have to be selfish about that kind of stuff.
Yes.
You really do. And the thing about work-life balance that really jumps out at me is that, we don't talk about men worrying about work-life balance. That's a woman thing.
Yes.
Because women, by and large, we're the caregivers. We're the ones that, we work our 9-to-5 job, but then we come home and we work our, 5 p.m. to midnight job, So that's an issue that I don't think men deal with as much as women do.
I think men have a very strong issue with work-life balance. A lot of men, our majority of our society still to this day, men are the winners. Oh my God, did I say winters? Oh my goodness gracious, Kim. Winners, so, and the mother, the women have, give birth to the children and they become, the major caregiver. That just goes to show you how men's lives are unbalanced. They get so enthralled with their careers, they're missing the soccer games and they're missing, all that. I have a very good friends here. They have a daughter. She is a sophomore in high school, one child. They have done such a phenomenal job raising this kid. She's not spoiled. We're in a very predominant area. She sees other things, and they both do not miss soccer games, tennis trial. Both parents do not. Now, there's been one or two times, like my girlfriend who's been out of town for her job, which is not often, and maybe has had to miss one, but they are both involved. And I just find it so amazing. And it's their commitment. That's their commitment of having her.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's hard to do. I know my husband, he's been in my daughter's life since she was 10 years old and now she's 25. And he made the sacrifice as a step parent to do that. I mean, she was in competitive gymnastics. We traveled all over the place. She was going to this camp and that camp, and he was always there. And he was at all of the band concerts and the dance recitals. And, for a step parent to step up and do something like that is even more amazing. But you're right. It's a commitment to, for men to be able to step up and step out of their careers. And they're so, they're so enthralled in being the breadwinner and taking care of the family that sometimes they lose sight of, taking care of the family also means going to the soccer games and the piano recitals and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Wow.
Right. Yeah. It's, it's a two-way thing. It really is. It's a two-way thing. So I want to throw in here real quickly, Denny, if I could, is, transformation is all a choice. It's all a choice. And we go through transformation every day. Sun up, sun down, moon up, moon down, day to night is a form of change and transformation, So transformation, what I just recently went through and still going through, because I've launched a blogging business and I am working on making that a viable business. I stepped into a whole world going, wow, I know nothing about this, but okay, I'm going to connect it with people. I've been online for 7 years. I'm like, I don't even know these people. I'm in Facebook groups. I don't know anybody. It has been so exciting, like new blood. And I'm going to go to a blogging conference. And, I was a little intimidated at first because I'm like, now I'm out of my wheelhouse. I'm out of my realm. But you know what? I'm going to get on in there and I'm going to have so much fun. But transformation is choice. It's all a choice.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Hey, I want to backtrack a little bit. Tell me, we were talking about the show that you do with Kate. How can people find that online? Is there a website? Is there a Facebook page? How can people find that?
Oh, gosh, that is just such a good question because we're still ironing all that out. They can either go to mine or Kate's Facebook page. I'm a little behind of putting that up on YouTube. We've got a couple shows already up on YouTube. I've got to get the other ones up on YouTube. But if they just go to Kim Boudreaux Smith Facebook or Kate Gardner Facebook, you can find them there.
Okay, cool. Well, also speaking of Kate Gardner, let's talk about the Missing Piece magazine, because you and I both are writing for the magazine, and I've been singing the praises of it since oh gosh, probably January, February of this year when I first got involved writing just a few times a year, but now I'm going to write once a month starting in May. So I want you to tell the listeners your perspective on the missing piece because they hear me talking about it every week.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's another thing. Let me tell you, the Missing Piece magazine, $5.99 a month. People were bitching about that. Are you kidding me? $6. Get your monthly issue at the Missing Piece magazine. Kate Gardner, I'm so impressed with her. She does all the layout, the whole design. This is what she did last year when she took time off and learned how to do this. And she's getting better and better and better. And what I love about the Missing Piece magazine, you need some coaching. You need maybe someone, hypothetically speaking, just reaching through a magazine and wrapping their arms around you and giving you that hug. There is very little ads in there. There is content in there.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It is just amazing. In fact, law of attraction, I can't keep track. I don't have the schedule in front of me because as you know, she's very organized. We're writing an article now that is for, I think maybe June. She keeps us a couple months ahead.
Yeah. I think the next issue is Overwhelm.
Yes, I know.
I can definitely write about that.
Oh, I know. I was just looking at my notes before we came into the show, and I'm like, I got to sit down and write my Overwhelm article this weekend, because that is for, I think, we're in April. I think that is for the June issue, the Overwhelm article. Okay. Boy, and I cannot wait, because you and I were talking a little bit about that in today's show. I mean, that's the other thing. Say yes to everything. Boy, you wonder why you're living in overwhelmed. Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
I know.
Knock.
Such a depletion on our whole body, not to mention, spinning and stress and oh my gosh.
Well, what I think is so cool about the magazine is, obviously, first of all, it's just amazing. I mean, it's interactive. There's videos embedded. There's, links back to the different authors, to their Facebook pages, their websites, so that you can get to know them. And what's incredible to me is that in every issue, there's how many? 25 different coaches that have written an article about the topic in the magazine. So you're getting a different perspective from each one of the authors. Yes. And it's like a therapy session in an online magazine. Yes. And for $5.99, are you kidding me? You can't get this kind of quality and content and interactive and the gorgeous graphics that she puts in. You cannot get a hard copy magazine on a newsstand or at the grocery store for $5.99 that's like this. 120 pages on the average.
Yep.
Come on. I know.
It is a first-class magazine, and this is coming from a magazine where Kate had publishing background. But, right. You're talking this a whole different platform for publishing, and she's decided she was going to learn this whole thing before she started hiring team on, from the graphics to everything. It is one of the most beautiful professional magazines I have seen for $5.99.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yes. Yeah. And there's so much content in there. There really is. I have yet to do a video with my article. I think I'm just going to keep typing with my article, but it's interactive, and there's links. And I do believe Bold is going to be one of the, there'll be some advertisements in there for Bold. And
yes.
because
coming up soon.
Yep, Kate's a very big proponent of that, big supporter. So it's a great magazine. And, not to mention you and I write in it. So grab your copy already.
That's right. Well, along with the blog and the show you do with Kate and the Missing Piece magazine, you are still operating Kim B. Smith. And so tell the listeners what is it that you are doing in your coaching business? What kind of things are you offering people?
Well, a lot of people come to me because they're like, I want to take my business to the level you've taken your businesses. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's have that conversation. So what I basically do is, unbeknownst to them, I help them get far more organized, far more streamlined, very simplistic, so they can focus on the business and take it to the next multiple levels of whatever their direction that they're going in. So that's what I work with them on. And so we do get a little bit involved into their lifestyle, their personal lifestyle, because, face it, if we have a business out there and our lives are a mess, it's going to reek through somewhere. It's going to come out somewhere. So I do a lot of just helping women, get more confident in selling their business, marketing, get more organized and streamlined. So that's basically what Kim B. Smith does in the business consulting side.
Well, it sounds like I might need to make an appointment with you.
I don't. I think you've had too much sangria to drink. No, I don't think so. But okay.
Well, it's like I was telling you about this the other day. We were having a conversation about how I was kind of shifting some priorities this year because,
yes,
you never, when an opportunity comes along and all of a sudden you have to kind of shift things from where you thought you were going to go with one part of your business to another part. I had to do that recently because, my friend Karen Paddock, she's one of my business coaches, and
yep.
She was helping me with some new things that I was doing in my nutrition coaching business. And we had gotten all excited about this one thing that we were doing. And, I was getting ready to launch this new membership site, and that was going to be the wave of the future of my nutrition coaching business. And then this opportunity with the collaborative book came along, and then I started getting inundated with people wanting to talk with me about being a host on Bold. And I really had to sit down and do some soul searching and decide, okay, which one of these needs to take priority? Which of these can I kind of put on the back burner for now and pick up during the summertime when I have a little bit more free time when I'm not teaching at the college? And so I decided, okay, well, Bold is my priority, and that's what I need to put on the front burner, and that's what I need to concentrate on for the next few weeks, probably the next 6 weeks, and wrap up all of these appointments that I have to talk to people about coming on and being a host on Bold. And then all these other things, they're still there. They're still percolating. They're still kind of bubbling on the back burner of the stove. But I just had to kind of shift around the pots on the stove and figure out which one really needed to be tended to a little bit more than the others. And that's part of the transformation process also, is if
yes.
if you've got multiple things that you're doing, and I think most of the female entrepreneurs that I know now that I would call part of my tribe, we don't just have one thing going on. We have multiple streams of income. We have, several different either aspects of the same business that are running, or we have completely separate businesses that are running, doing different things. And, sometimes you just have to say, okay, whoa, wait a minute. Which one of these do I need to really focus on that's the most important thing right now? And don't let go of the other things. Make sure that you're still, nurturing those other things that you're doing, and, making sure that you're, maintaining your brand and your focus on those. But you still have to kind of shift things around and, make sure that you're taking care of the things that are most important.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it's like a life lesson. You got to do that in your family. You got to do that for your businesses,
That's that work-life balance, so to speak, thing is it's like playing a chess game. It's just getting strategic, and it's getting, it's negotiating, and it's moving things over and taking this around. And, it's like cooking, like you just, and I'm really hungry too. It's like putting that stuff on the back burner, and so instead of taking it to boil, you turn it down to simmer, or maybe it goes into a bowl and it goes into a freezer because you're going to pull it out in a couple of months. But so many people do not want to slow down, strategize, and plan, and take a deep breath and look at the schedule and go, wow, I'm not teaching this summer. This is going to be an amazing summer. I get to breathe, and this is where I get to refocus and put everything else, until September or maybe January, which is not
Mm-hmm.
that far off. That's what we have to do with life, because you have to factor in everything that we can manage. And then there's the pieces that are the unforeseen obstacles.
Oh,
Aging
yeah.
parents, sick kids. Oh my goodness. Sick
Husband 2
dogs,
hours
a
away going
husband
to
2
the
hours.
emergency
Yep,
room.
exactly. We have a flat tire. I mean, we live in Michigan. Our roads here are horrible. That's what we don't factor that stuff in, so that we're so overloaded. Then when we do have something happen, oh my God, it's like holidays. I love watching people get all flipped out over the holidays. It's like a holiday. You knew it was coming, but people don't want to eliminate and strategize and move things around, like playing chess on a chessboard, moving things around,
Exactly. Well, I can't believe that we're almost out of time. I mean, time flies when you are on the radio. I'm telling you. Every time I have a guest, I always tell them, you're not going to believe how quick the hour goes by. But you and I both know that the hour just flies by. But I want to be sure that everybody knows how to get in touch with you, either Facebook, website, email address. So let everybody know how they can find Kim Boudreaux Smith.
Well, you can find me. My website is kimb.smith.com. You can come on over to, I'm on Instagram, Kim Boudreaux Smith. That's Boudreau. I'm on Facebook, same thing, Kim Boudreaux Smith. Let me see. You can just find me over there, and if you want to email me, you can go through one of those avenues to email me.
So you have a contact way on your website, like most of us do. Okay.
Yes,
awesome.
Absolutely. And I would love some love on the blog. Stop on by, read a blog, share it, like it, whatever. I'd love some
Absolutely.
love.
And I will share the blog that you did today. I need to be sure and share that with all of my social media because it was a really good one. Close to my heart, the detox bath.
Oh, I love those. Oh my goodness.
Well, and that's what's so cool about your blog is you do something really super serious one day, and then the next day it's something that's totally lighthearted, and it's like, oh wow, cool.
Yeah, I know. I thought I had to do that today because I've been 4 weeks now into some pretty serious stuff. I'm like,
some deep shit, and then I was like, detox bath. You were just talking about some deep shit yesterday. What's going on?
So we go into the deep shit, then you got to go take a detox bath.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, this is just so funny how the tables have turned because, just about this time last year, I was a guest on your show, and then I came on again as a guest with Kelly as a co-host. And then just a few months later in October, I started my show with Kelly. And then in late September, early October is when you and I started talking about me taking over Bold. And now here we are almost a year later. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is, if somebody had told probably you or I this time last year that this is where we would be, we'd be like, what?
Are you crazy?
That's
what I would say. You're nuts. Yep, you're nuts.
Yep. No, ain't going to happen.
Nope.
Ain't going to happen.
I know.
But it did.
Oh, I know. I hope I get to come back on your show. You have a phenomenal show. I'm getting ready to send out an email to a couple of my newfound blogging friends, your link to your show, because they awesome. A lot of these bloggers are into podcast listening right now. Like when they're out running or driving the kids, and I'm like, oh, you got to listen to this Hot Mamas. And they're women. You got to listen to this Hot Mamas. Got to listen.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Kim, thank you so much for being my guest today and for seeing in me the person that you could turn over the reins to Bold Radio, because it's an honor to now serve as the CEO of Bold Radio and to have stepped into your shoes, which were very big to fill. And I'm trying my best to do so in a good way and to take Bold into the future. We want to thank the staff at Bold Radio and, of course, our producer, Nesha. I could not do this without his wonderful talent and skill. We thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity to come into your homes, into your car, or at your desk at work, wherever it is that you are listening, whether you listen to us live today or if you're listening to a replay on the Bold radio station website or at iHeartRadio. We appreciate you because we could not do this without our listeners. So thank you so much for listening. And those of you that are listening on a replay, remember, contact me at onenutritionexpert@gmail.com, or you can email me through the radio station website at boldradiostation.com. Let me know where you are listening, where are you located geographically, and what are you doing while you are listening. Now keep it clean, okay? I want to hear about people at the gym and at the grocery store and in your car, or you're listening surreptitiously at work where no one knows what you're doing. They think you're working, but you're actually listening to Hot Mamas. So let me know where you are listening from. And join me again next week at the same time, Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, noon Central Standard Time, for another Hot Mamas Living Better at Any Age. And now you know what to do. I want you to go out there and be the hot mama that you were destined to be.
The great stuff doesn't stop here. Visit Dawneen's website at fitnessnutritionconsulting.com. Remember to tune in next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Bold Radio Station for more fun.